Now, I think we are ready to get going with our first run of the day. So, without further ado, I'm going to pass you over to Stump, who's running Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back 100%. I'm very excited. Take it away, Stump.
Alright, hello everyone, I'm Stump. Sorry for being a little late, just some tech stuff came up, but yeah, I'm going to be doing Crash 2 100%, so I want to get this going. So this starts when I gain control, so I'll count down to that.
Awesome.
Alright. And 3, 2, 1, start time. Alright, so
Awesome.
here we go. Oh.
We're off.
So what I did there was, if you slide right past a TNT, you can blow it up without it, sort of like I also did there. That tricky ice patch right at the beginning of the run. But anyway, that can cause it to explode, but get you far enough away from it by the time it explodes to not get hurt. What is this doing? Okay, now we're in a good spot. And sliding on ice really can get you some good speed. But this movement that I'm doing, where I'm alternating between sliding and spinning, I'm actually letting go of any directional input for the spin part. And that allows the spin to keep the speed of the slide, because sliding is the fastest form of movement over ground. But there's a cooldown that would make continuous sliding not be the fastest thing to do. And then back there, I did a glitch high jump to get the red gem earlier than I'm supposed to. Normally you need to take a secret exit from a level in the next warp room to get to an alternate entrance that gets you there, but if you do a slide jump and you spin right after the jump, you do go a little tiny bit higher than you normally would, and that's enough to get things that are just out of reach, such as that gem. And in every level, I'll be breaking every box so that I can get the gem for doing so.
I absolutely love this game. It reminds me of my childhood so much.
Yeah, this was like the original Crashes and Spyros were my main games back when I was
yeah.
young. And to the chat question, yeah, only boxes, because those are needed for the box gem and the other collectibles, but the fruit you don't need. So you may notice that I am not breaking any boxes right now, and that is because there is something special about this level, which is that it has the blue gem in it, but to get that, you need to get to the end of the level without breaking any boxes. So that includes checkpoints, so I can grab the blue gem and then death warp and do the level in the usual way to get the rest of what this level has to offer. And it is random whether Crash's shoes bounce out of the pit when Crash falls into one. I got them that time. That loses a little bit of time. But now that I'm back at that, I can pass through here again and actually break all the boxes. Including the ones on this little secret path here.
Is that what counts for 100% stump? Getting all the boxes and
Well,
all the gems, therefore.
yes, getting all the... You need to get all of the crystals, all of the gems, and all of the secret exits. That includes 2 secret exits that I otherwise am not going to need because I can get what those secret exits, what the corresponding secret entrances lead to. But I still need to get the... I still need to unlock them because those are percent.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I feel like as a child, I only ever accidentally revealed the secret paths. So I'm excited to see all the ones I missed today.
Yeah, there actually are a
Is
couple...
that what led you into... I'm sorry, Stump, go ahead.
Oh, there actually are a couple of like side paths that we don't end up seeing all of, either because there aren't actually boxes along them or for some other reasons.
Yeah.
Also, these pits, you can do the glitch high jump out of them. But there we are with the box gem for Turtle Woods.
Nice. Is that what led you into speedrunning this game, Stump, from playing it as a youngster? Or
Yes, sort of.
I
I
don't know, what's your journey?
Like, I've been involved, I mean, just because the original Crashes and Spyros were some of my favorite games back then, those are what I ended up getting into, like, as my main speed games.
Yeah. It's a very similar trend we see quite a lot, isn't it, with the runners?
Yeah.
Childhood nostalgia, me too.
There's a lot of overlap between those communities, and even a semi-annual race of all of those, like all 6 of the original games back to back that we do, called Sprashfecta. It's a wonderful time.
It sounds a lot of fun. I love the Crash games, the music, the vibes. It's great.
So I had to hold back a little there to make sure that those nitros were still on screen when the boulder hit them, because this level does not have a nitro switch. Oh, seemed to have accidentally rolled onto the down button when I was making that final jump. Yeah, but what I was doing... This bonus was going so well until then, too.
It's still going very well. I'm amazed, though.
So what I did there with those suspended boxes, So if you spin down through... If you spin down through a layer of those suspended boxes, you'll land on the ones below without it counting as like bouncing on them, which works well for those because those are the bouncy type where you need to hit them 10 times. And then if I slide over the top of them, didn't get the animation skip. Oh well.
What do you need to do to get the animation skip there?
So I need to be sliding when I actually exit the zone where the boulder might hit me.
Okay. Uh-huh. Oof, it seems a tight window to get that in.
Yeah, especially on that last one, because you pretty much have to do that right... You pretty much have to land right on the edge of the door to the exit part. And then slide. So this is a level that sort of has our first special clear gem. You may notice that there's a timer on the screen. There's an additional clear gem for me if I can get to the end of the level before that timer runs out. We will not be having any trouble doing that.
Good to know. Yay.
But since... Well, with casual movement, though, you just barely can make it. But after that checkpoint, I sort of went into any % box mode and skipped that checkpoint. That's because the end of level, only one gem can spawn at a time. So I can't get both the timer gem and the box gem on the same pass through the level. And there are also some boxes in the gem path, the blue gem path that I skipped. And going in there would take too long, so that's why I get the timer gem and then death warp back to that checkpoint and then go back through and get the rest of the boxes. So, something special about this. That TNT doesn't look like it's anywhere near close enough to that upper bouncy box, but you could see in my box count that it did still blow it up when I went far enough off screen for that TNT to explode. And that is because when a TNT explodes due to going far enough off screen, it doesn't compute the nearby boxes for it to blow up in the usual way from proximity.
Whoopsies.
Yes. Instead, it just goes by a list that's essentially hard-coded into each TNT. And for that one, that box is on it because it's close to where that TNT spawns. So that's a spot where we can take advantage of that. So there, a slide jump with a little bit of zigzagging in the air gets you a little bit of extra distance that can allow you to skip using some of the platforms. And those outline boxes will get filled in by that, so I can go back and get them. Okay, 54 is the right number here.
What console are you playing on, by the way, Stump, if you don't mind me asking?
So, I am playing this on a PAL PS2. Yeah, I probably should have mentioned I'm using the PAL version of the game. The reason for that is that Crash does move a little tiny bit faster and jump a little tiny bit higher. And there are some special tricks that that allows, including a couple in the later in the final warp room that have well, the way the lower frame rate happens to line up with enemy movement lets you skip a couple things.
Oh, nice. How very handy.
Yeah. Also, some of the bosses move slower because they were not changed to... they were not adjusted for the change of the frame rate, but... well, which makes it easier to get certain one cycles.
Yeah. I can imagine the community for speedrun in this game must be great as well.
Yeah. The Crash community is wonderful. The Spyro community also is. So, these purple birds. Something I'll be trying to do, like I did there, is try and jump just barely over them and then spin as I land behind them. Spinning extends Crash's hitbox backwards a little bit, and that can cause the bird to knock me forward a bit. So there's a branching path here. There are boxes on both sides. But there's a big gap between that pair of boxes on the right side and the next box on the right side, so I sort of dip the right side to get that pair of boxes, and then I'll complete the left side. The left side also has that switch box that spawns a couple of boxes that are outlines on the right side, so we do need to do that first. Yeah, those extra life boxes on the right side would not be there if I didn't do the left side first.
I wish I knew that as a child. All the extra lives I could take.
There we go.
Nice.
Alright, so now we're through the split path portion. Again, the pits you can glitch high jump out of. And there's our first body slam box. And then this is probably the most elaborate bonus area in the first warp room. Mainly because there are those bouncy boxes to go across and that switch to spawn these boxes way back here.
This must have taken ages to learn Stump. I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Years. All these paths and ways.
Well, it's not as intricate as Spyro is with having to hit every single one of those gems.
Oh. I love Spyro runs. I think the last one I saw was the Bone Dance as well.
Oh, that is a wonderful category.
The Bone Dance incentive. It was very fun. Yeah.
The one in Spyro 2 or the one in Spyro 3?
I am unsure. I'll have to go and check. I think it was 2 off the top of my head.
Yeah, usually that's
the
Spyro 2 version is the version of that that's run. But anyway, we finished 5 levels, so we got our first boss, Ripperoo. The patterns are completely fixed. This is essentially an auto-scroller, so this would be a good time for anything you might want to say.
Yeah, I'm always happy to jump in. I love a little auto-scroller boss, making the life a little bit easier for us. I just wanted to mention our charity again, because I mentioned it right at the beginning, just to know a few more people have popped on in. So just to let you know that Completithon is raising money for Somos Familia Vella, a community-based organisation created and led by local, low-income, first-generation college students who are LGBTQ+ people of colour in the San Fernando Valley area in San Fernando, California. Somos Familia Vella organises for intersectional LGBTQ+ liberation through transformative dialogue, advocacy and civil engagement. Incredible charity. Don't forget to put !donate in the chat if you would like to donate. And also don't forget to put those towards some incentives, because we have got some fantastic targets and incentives open at the moment. We have got Metroid Dread targets, 2 separate ones. One for bonus boss rush, one for 100% randomizer upgrade. Sounds incredibly exciting. And we've also got lots of polls going on for our little Pokemon section later. So also keep your eye on those. How are we doing, Stump? Did we beat the Roo?
Yep, Ripperoo is dead.
He's gone.
Yes.
Goodbye.
So we have Polar the bear in the warp room outside of this level. If I were playing on the Japanese version, I actually would have to jump on Polar 10 times to get extra lives, because that counts as percent in that version, but not in other versions.
Oh, that is interesting. It's a strange difference.
And that set of boxes on that previous patch of ice is one that I often have trouble with. There are 4 total levels where I ride on this bear at some point. This is the first one, and to me, it's the hardest one of them. But the bear continuously moves forward, so if I miss a box, if I have the misfortune of missing a box, I need to
Oh, that must be so frustrating for 100%.
It is.
Yeah.
Especially since
I can imagine. I was about to say I loved the...
So
yeah,
this set of boxes is probably the hardest thing in the bear levels. And I got it.
Nice. Well done. GG.
Yeah, at least something's going right on this.
It's going fantastically. I'm amazed because I died so many times on these levels. To watch you speed through them is amazing.
Yeah. And actually, in trying to figure out some of the tech weirdness that came up before this, one of the things I did was restart my console, and I forgot to turn the fast disk speed option on when I did so.
Oh, no.
That option's one of the reasons that I am playing this on a PS2, because loads go much faster, but, well, without that option turned on, that doesn't happen, so I'm losing a couple seconds every time there's a load.
Oh, never mind.
Which is unfortunate.
You still get
That's
to
one of
see
those
your,
things that
fast crash.
sort of gets, sometimes gets forgotten when I'm trying to do a bunch of stuff to fix my stuff.
Yeah. Nice.
So there are these electric barriers in this level. You can, your hitbox becomes short enough when you slide that you can go under them, as well as on the spin part. But there's another level later on where these show up. I need to remember to make sure those nitros were on screen. Sometimes I have forgotten to do that when I'm commentating during it, but I remember. These nitros I have to make sure break on screen. Okay. Alright, now we're good. There isn't really much to this bonus. Although this shows, this is probably the first time where... Okay! I have not had that fail in that way before.
That sounds like it's on a marathon bingo card. Always
Yes.
happens in a marathon.
That is what I was
don't
trying
worry.
to do there. That's probably the first place where I slide down from a higher platform onto a stack of boxes and thus drop straight through them. And having the right horizontal position going through there lets your slides and spins be wide enough to... lets your slides and spins be wide enough to actually break all of those, even the ones that are on both the left and the right. And now with all those boost pads, I am getting ridiculously far ahead of the boulder. We can't even see it. But without the slide spin, you would just barely be able to get up to that body slam box and body slam it in time. Here's a new type of level. This is a sewer level. One of the things that are in them is these areas where there's some water with an electric eel, and it will hurt you if you go in while it's electrified. But there is our third colored gem in here. Past this otherwise useless-seeming room completely filled with nitros.
Didn't look a fun room. Nice.
So, with extremely good movement, it's actually slightly faster to backtrack out of that than to death warp, but I'm not at that tier of movement yet. But I still do need to duck into there on the next pass and break that box, because in the original games, proximity of non-nitros is not taken into account when you hit the nitro switch to blow all the nitros up.
Is there an active community speedrunning this at the moment? Do you feel like there's multiple people still speedrunning?
Oh, yes. The Splash community is quite
I was going to say
active.
it's active. Yeah. I would have thought so. It's a lot of people's favourite childhood games. Me included.
So another reason we play this game on the PAL version is you have a slightly larger body slam hitbox, which can break 4 stacks of boxes instead of just 3. So that can save the need to do an additional body slam in a few areas, such as that area.
Did you have a favourite Crash game?
This one.
This one, yeah. I was hoping you would say this one. That makes sense why you're speedrunning it then. It was a silly question, really.
Yeah. I think this, to me, this one seems to have the right, like the best balance between the various things. Like Crash 3 has the time trials, which, are interesting in their own way, but still just a bit of a... What am I doing? And Crash 1 has the... Crash 1 has the annoyance of level gems requiring you not to have ever respawned at a checkpoint in the level.
Oof. Well, that seems unfair. For 100% at least.
Yeah.
I can see that's a lot trickier.
Yeah, so those porcupines, normally when you approach them like at casual running speed, they get their, they have fully deployed their spikes by the time you would get to them, so they hurt you. But approaching them at neutral side spin speed, they don't have time for that, so you can just neutral side spin right through them. Wait. I thought my box count was wrong. Sorry, I just think everything that happened that...
No, it's completely understandable. I get it.
Okay, let's see. 846. Oh, okay, that time one of the boxes... What is... Okay, I just can't add things up right this morning, apparently.
It's pretty early for most people right now, don't worry. You've got this. That's still going 10 times quicker than I could. So...
Yeah, it's currently, it's 10:40 a.m. for me.
Oof.
So those crushers, in this area, they are on a tighter timer than they are in, like, where they appear in main parts of the level. So you have to slide. Yeah, this is the correct box count. Alright.
Nice. I second chat, this is all very impressive. You're doing spectacularly.
I can get these bounces. Wonderful.
Nice.
Yes, having to slide back up that ice can get a bit... Well, at least that was right after a checkpoint. can get a bit
it could have been a lot worse, right?
annoying, yeah.
The seals get in the way.
They do. I held R1 a bit too long, so Crash didn't actually finish sliding. Okay. So here's another spot where we'll slide next to a TNT to explode it.
I remember these wheels, not so fondly. Nice. Nice, GG, that was good.
Thanks. So, one more level in this warp room. This is Air Crash. This is the only level that we actually are going to have to enter twice. That's because it has a secret entrance that has boxes on it. But unlike other levels with a secret entrance, it doesn't provide a way to get, to break into the back of it. This level also has our first secret exit, which is that platform there, so we'll be death warping back to that checkpoint to get that secret exit once we go forward to get the gem out of the death route. And the crystal. So for that platform to be there, I had to get there without having died since entering the level.
Oh, that's interesting. That was very quick.
Normally that clip down there is so easy.
It's be one of those days. It's
Yeah. Well, that's there's our secret exit, so that's one of the 5 secret
Nice.
exits that we need to get because those are percent.
Nice. Does it track your percentage on the main screen or somewhere on this game, or is it done
It shows it on
by
the pause
users?
screen.
A pause screen, yeah, got you. Mhm. I see. Awesome.
Yeah.
Already 35%. Racing through.
We are. So I had to enter and then exit that level because you have to enter one of the levels to get out of the secret warp room. But this brings us to our second boss, the Komodo brothers,
Oh, nice.
where one of them will bounce around the arena a bit. You hit that one into the other brother, and then he throws knives around 3/4 of the arena. So the movement is a bit affected by your position, particularly in the second and the third phase. So some movement is to manipulate the bouncing so that he stops as soon as possible.
I love how convenient it is that it's only 3/4 of the arena that he throws knives on.
And if that knife throwing was slower than you're used to seeing, that is because of this being the PAL version and that being something that wasn't adjusted for it. While that does slow this fight down a bit, like some of the other things that allows do make up for it. So
nice.
Here we are.
So we're off to. Sorry, go on.
Yep, so here we are in Warp 3. With a new level type here, Road to Ruin. These levels are mainly a... These levels are mainly just an abyss with some small platforms on it.
Very haunted mansion kind of themed. It looks
Yes.
spooky themed.
But what I'm doing there is using a glitch high jump to break into the what's normally gated behind the secret entrance to this level. So there is that huge pile of 32 boxes there. You're intended to need to have used the secret entrance to break those, but we don't need that. But of course, we still need to unlock the secret entrance because it is %. So that death locks us out of the death route platform, but we don't need it. That's because there's the end of the death route over there. It sometimes takes me a few tries to get this jump.
It's a big jump.
Yeah, it is. Takes a really good slide and spin, and then some zigzagging that's right around the edge of like what I'm capable of at this point.
You're doing a spectacular job, honestly.
And sometimes I miss the jump too.
Happens to the best of us. Oh, that was close.
Yeah, that's enough to start to get that pity mask there. Oh, at some point I might have to start breaking some of those boxes open.
You got this.
Thanks.
Yes!
I came dangerously close to embedding there, which would have required me to exit the level and re-enter it, but I saved myself.
Oh, no. Woo! That was GG, that was awesome. That looked tough.
Like, when I saw how I landed and that I was partially inside the platform, I thought, oh great, I just embedded. And I'm gonna have to do all this again.
Oh no.
But I had the presence of mind not to try to slide along there. I just wanted to see if I could get that jump once. After what happened there, I didn't feel too good about getting it, but I sort of wanted to show it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I can get it most of the time. Just with how things have been going, I'm gonna... You can see why I liked... why you generally want to skip that by trying to make that jump. Well, at least I don't have to do the bonus
Oh
again.
no, the fire. Yep. That's very handy, actually. Nice save space there. Nice. Nice GG.
Thanks.
That looked a fun level. Lots of tricks and jumps. Didn't realise Crash was a long distance jumper until today.
Alright. So, this is Plant Food, another river level. This has another timer gem like Hang 8 had, but in this case, that timer gem is the yellow gem. And we need that for a yellow gem path that another level in here has, so that's one of the colored gems are one of the considerations in routing for some of the workrooms. Alright, well, we had a mask, so that's fine. Trying to...
Do you have a, sorry.
What was that?
I was gonna say, do you have a favourite enemy, if that's possible?
I've never really thought too much about that. But first, that death I did at the beginning of the bonus, the first time I entered it, was actually to reset that timer, because with the bonus, well, I personally can't quite get to the end in time, but that does cause... It did cause the timer to reset to... Oh, that's not good.
Oh no.
I've never become as aware of the timer gen mechanics as I should be, but I think I may have locked myself out of the timer gem in this pass of the level.
Oh no.
Oh no, I didn't. Okay, we're good.
Oh, thank gosh. Woo! We're still good. Still good. Crash is just testing you today.
Yeah. And I did have to get that and then Deathward back here and get the rest of those boxes because only one end-of-level gem can spawn at the same time.
Yeah.
I seriously thought I had fallen between the board and the platform there.
Nice. Nice. How many like different kind of levels are there? So I know that we're on like the third kind of set, right?
Yes, there are 5 sets of levels.
5 altogether.
And then I've never
And
actually...
there's a boss at the end of each one.
Right. I've never actually counted the number of like sort of different subtypes of levels too.
Ooh.
You got like forest, snow, river, boulder chase, sewer, bear.
So at least
The screams of those lab assistants are the best. So here's the yellow gem path, which is why we had to do plant food before this. This has no boxes on it, and the gem is pretty early in it. So we'll just grab the gem and death warp out of it. Which does mean we don't get to see the rest of the path.
That is fine, it's still 100%.
Yeah. The glitch high jump kept me from needing to hit that switch for... Alright, let's see if I can get this skip here. Oh, well, I needed to take a hit anyway, because I do not want third mask form.
What happens at third mask form that we want to avoid?
So, when you accumulate 3 masks, you do become invincible for a bit, which normally would be wonderful and useful, but in Crash 2, it also does really weird things to your movement speeds.
Oh, interesting.
In particular, it is not possible to move as fast as with non-invincible neutral side spinning. In fact, neutral side spinning in third mask form is pretty slow. The fastest form of moving across ground in third mask form in Crash 2, amazingly enough, is to crawl.
That is surprising.
But in Crash 1 and in Crash 3, generally you do want third mask form when you can. But in Crash 2 you don't. Well, except in one case in the next warp room that hopefully we'll be able to make use of, but that's a special case. So this is Unbearable.
Yeah.
This is sort of a cross between the boulder levels and the bear levels. You can see that we are being chased, but by a large bear.
Teeth? I'm terrified of this polar bear. Look at its teeth.
Yeah, that does look like a pretty ferocious bear.
Whoa! It's not like that friendly bear that we were, like, you know, hitching a ride with earlier.
Well, actually, we will be meeting up with that bear a bit later.
Oh, nice.
So there is a secret path down this. That death warp was because it was faster to do that than to wait for that bear to get there. There's a good amount of stuff. Whoop. Wasn't quite a line there.
This is a very interesting side level.
Yeah, this definitely is a bit of a unique feeling to it. A little bit of glitch high and zigzagging can get you over some enemy combinations.
Yeah. The bullets don't look very friendly to deal with at all.
Yeah, they can be annoying. Let's see if I can make the initial jump here. Okay. There's one bonus-related skip I finally got.
No.
So
You've shown us
without,
fantastic gameplay, don't worry, Stump.
without doing that, I would have had to use the trampoline box there to go to the right side of that upper level and then backtrack all the way to the left. So these electric barriers are slightly lower than the ones in the previous boulder level, so I have to actually be on the slide part of the slide spin to get that. But, yeah.
Oh,
Big bear meets little bear.
I see what you mean now. Oh, quick little bear! Don't. Oh, that's cute.
It really is.
Nice.
Actually, this isn't it for our little bear friend. We're actually going to be going and visiting him right now.
Oh, yay!
And that is because that is a secret warp room entrance.
Oh, interesting.
So that actually unlocks one of the 2 extra levels that only have a gem in them, but, well, still the portal and the gem are percent. This is totally bear.
Yeah.
Another bear level that happens in the dark.
Oh.
So in that sense, we sort of have 3 bear levels in a row.
Yeah.
Even though,
quite nice.
even though Unbearable wasn't completely a bear level.
Chased by a bear. I see. This is very similar to. I remember this one with the whales in the previous, a bit in the dark. Ooh,
Yeah.
tricky.
Hopefully we won't see it, but I love the death animation from hitting them.
Oh.
The death animation from them is
That's very kind of you.
Crash does the there's the usual Angel animation that there is for a lot of things, but Crash is also holding Polar and carrying him up with him.
Oh, that is cute. Nice, that was very quick. GG stuff, that was speedy.
Thanks. Yeah, of the bear levels, I've always felt that the first one, Barrett in the second workroom is actually the hardest one. And that this one, Bear Down, which is the last bear level we'll be doing, is the one I've always found to be the easiest. Probably because it just doesn't have the kind of tricky box arrangements that the other ones have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Since there isn't that much to it, to this one, if there's anything you want to say, this would be a great time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I've just put in chat, actually, ! Name Bid War. And if you follow that link through, friends, you can see the nominations we've had for trainer name, starter name, and star name, because these all need to come through your donations, you see. At the moment, the trainer name, we've got $9 on Osborne and $5 on George. So if you've got a strong opinion on which organiser you'd like here to be our trainer name, make sure you get those donations in and put it in your comment. Make sure you're putting it in your comment and we can get it through, and let's see who we end up selecting. Just a reminder, there's also some targets. We've got Metroid Dread and Metroid Prime for our Metroid little section later on. Metroid Dread, there is a bonus boss rush. We need $75. We've got 20. We're not far off. I know we can do it. And also we've got Metroid Prime 100% randomizer upgrade. I love a good randomizer, so that sounds exciting to me. We need to raise $100 and we've currently got 45, not far off halfway. So make sure you get those donations in, ! Donate in chat to support our fabulous cause and our amazing runners. And incentives and bid wars. That was very quickly done against Stump.
That was very
I feel
good
like I
timing,
blinked
too.
and we're through.
Yeah, so
Speedy.
there was that secret warp room entrance at the very end of that level, which I took to get the alternate entrance of Air Crash. So yeah, this one has boxes in it and isn't accessible from the main part of the level. So that is why we do have to actually use this to get the box gem of this level. Oh, that was close. One of my slides dropped. So I almost got swallowed by... Well, actually I had a mask, so I would have just lost the mask. But now we can go through this level and actually break the boxes in it. Since the Nitro switch was in the side path, the Nitros that we saw before are not here, so that can make something's a little bit easier to deal with.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love a good arch like that.
Those arches are
with all the
nice.
apples and the extra life. They are, aren't they? They're very satisfying to get all of it as well.
And we have a mask, so we can damage boost onto this platform with these boxes on it. Without that, I would need to jump onto it and then backtrack to it oh, I no longer have a mask. I gotta be much more careful about where I am in the mine cycle there. That's good. So, in any percent, you do this level with you just go through this level. So you pass through that part without having hit the nitro switch, and there's a nitro mixed into one of those fields of boxes. So I like to call it the any percent nitro because that's the only category where you actually see it.
Nice.
But that is another 5 levels done. So we're on to our next boss.
Onto a boss.
This is Tiny the Tiger, and this also is probably the only real time that there's significant RNG in the run. So in a little bit, 3 of these platforms are going to drop, and I need to get Tiny to jump over where one of them is. And then when he does, all but 3 of the other platforms drop. Repeat twice. So now I gotta hope that one of the 2 platforms that drops is, okay, that works. That works very nicely.
Oh, nice.
So the third phase is...
I can see what you mean.
Yeah. So the third phase is the trickiest and can have a big luck component. Because if the one platform that decides to drop is a corner, you pretty much can't get Tiny over it. Alright, hopefully either a side or the center is what drops, because the platforms that stayed are not ones that will help me get a corner to work. That is wonderful.
Nice.
Okay, that is Tiny defeated.
Thank you, RNG dogs. Gods. I love this boss is called Tiny, and it is in fact an absolutely huge tiger monster.
Yeah, that is...
Despite being called Tiny.
That is something. It's a well-named boss.
Yeah.
So here we are in Warp 4. So Warp 4 is where we are trying to... well, there is the one place where we want third mask form. And to do that, we need to bring 2 masks into Hanging Out, which hopefully we can get from this level. But this is the other ruin level. One of the recurring features of this is that it has some box arrangements that are similar to Road to Ruin, but wasn't quite aligned right there. What is... There we go. Okay.
Nice.
By the way, you can spin those logs. I didn't know that as a kid.
Really? Oh my goodness. I love little nitbits like that. As if I just jumped over them.
Yep,
I love that.
I just painstakingly jumped over them too.
Yeah. Much to my often death. But yeah. Nice, there's our gem.
Yeah, so this path just had the gem very late in it, but it also doesn't have boxes in it, so we can death warp back from it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, you may have noticed that I did a glitch high jump and zigzagging to get into the gem path, because you can just barely make that, and the green gem platform moves very, very slowly for some reason. I was a bit too far to the left, but that stack of boxes is a place where you can take advantage of the slightly larger PAL body slam hitbox.
Nice, I see.
Yeah, that stack of boxes. I ended up bouncing on it in a weird way. I'm not sure why that happened. But this does give us another chance to. Oh, come on.
Oh, close. Nice.
Alright. Alright, there we are. So,
Nice.
it is interesting that they put more than half of those levels boxes in the bonus, but that's just what they did.
Yeah.
You may also find it a bit...
I was thinking there's a lot of boxes.
You may also find it a bit suspicious that the box countdown there is timed so that it finishes just before the platform lands. There's a specific reason they did that. One that we'll be taking advantage of in another level in this warp room. How this was going. I'm just going to play these platforms safe. Sorry.
That is completely fair. Nice.
Alright, I was able to snipe the... Okay, we successfully brought 2 masks out of this.
Let's go, GG. That was a good one.
Yes. So this is Hanging Out. This is a sewer level, and this is the one place in the game where we actually do want to get Dark Mask Form.
Ooh, okay, exciting.
Which means I need to get to the mask box without losing either of these masks. Which sometimes has been a problem for me.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
So you can see that on these sort of hanging grids, Crash doesn't move the fastest, and there's the need to worry about where those enemies are. So here we are in third mask form. Look how much faster Crash moves along these in third mask form.
Oh, wow!
And with
That
the
is
invincibility,
interesting.
I don't have to worry about those.
Oh, I love that. It's
So
interesting
that
that it works so much faster on the climbing speed,
Yeah.
but not the, like, casual. Interesting.
Yeah, third mask form does weird things to movement speed, and that is the one time, the one place where that works out in our favor.
It's nice to see it, though.
Yeah.
I guess the joy of 100% when you get to see these things.
I actually was intended to lose a mask on those nitros, but didn't. I ended up making it over the explosion, so I'm gonna have to wait to take a second hit here. But the reason I'm death warping back to the checkpoint after getting the box gem is that there is a secret warp room entrance here.
Ah. Oh, look at all
Going
those
through this?
lives. What?
Where this is the only place in the OG Crashes where the mechanic of pulling your legs up when you're on one of these hanging grids is relevant. Even though it's not used anywhere in Crash 3,
level.
they kept it in Crash 3.
I love that. That just that one level, all for that one tiny little bit of a level.
But this leads us to the other, like the second sort of additional level. This is Totally Fly. This is a dark level where you have these fireflies that light the way. And the fireflies are timed so that if you continuously moved at casual speed from one to the next, each one would time out just as you get to the next one. So the amount of overlap we get will be a nice visualization of the time saved by neutral side spinning. The bonus works a bit differently, where the firefly just moves at a fixed speed. Those are just steel boxes, so those don't count. There's that 16th box, there it is. So I end up getting a bit ahead of the firefly there, but yeah, from the slight visibility of the waterfalls, you can see where you are. Then we get to one of the more annoying parts of this level. It would take way too long to get these with the firefly for, and still let you.
Instead, yeah.
Like it would time out. I think I left 2 there.
Yeah, this is a very dark level, isn't it? To see everything.
Yeah, and that's why they provided those fruit next to that pit to provide a casual way to tell when you possibly are exploring a bit too far in the dark when you're trying to go ahead and get those body sandboxes. So, Cold Hard Crash is next. That is a snow level. It is the longest level in the game. It has the most boxes of any level in the game, and it has a very annoying backtrack because there are boxes in both the death route and the main part of the level that the death route bypasses. and you can't break into the back half of the death route.
Oh, it's the seals.
So we're going to have to deal with all that.
I think these snow levels are probably my least favourite.
Yeah.
Because of the skidding on the ice and the seals. But I do love the polar bears as well.
The polar bears are nice.
Mm-hmm.
So you may have noticed I didn't get that checkpoint back there. And didn't go into the bonus there. This will become relevant very shortly. So here's that death route. So this would dump you at the third part of the main level without a way to get back if I were to complete it.
Oh.
But by going into that, I make sure that it remains spawned. So remember how I said in Ruination that they happened to, for some reason, they decided to time the exit platform movement to match the... okay, do I get to 24 here? Yes, I do. So they didn't do that here.
Nice.
And that's because those boxes will continue counting up with the base box count still there too when you die and respawn during the countdown of boxes from a bonus. So I just duplicated all of the boxes that I broke before the bonus. But until I hit a checkpoint, those are volatile and will disappear if I don't... Okay, we got the checkpoint, we're safe. So by duplicating those boxes, we can do just the death route and not the main part of the level that it bypasses. And that works well because the death route has a gem in it, and it's also faster and actually also, I would say, easier than the main part of the level that this bypasses. And we duplicated enough boxes that we also are not going to have to do that backtrack. There's an exclamation point box at the end. We also duplicated enough boxes that we don't have to get that, like, stop and get those two boxes up there, which are very annoying. But casually, you need to hit that switch there and go back and get a couple of boxes. Okay, that did explode everything. So I should get to 151 off of these things. I do.
Nice.
So I need to leave one of those boxes there, so I do end up with 155, which is the proper number of boxes, because you have to equal the number of boxes, not exceed it. And look at that, we broke all the boxes.
Nice. Oh, that was awesome. I love that. Nice little duplication.
So the remaining two levels in this warp room are sort of two instances of a type of level we haven't quite seen before, where sort of has a few things in common with the forest levels, but has some new things like these piranha plants spitting exploding fruit. Spinning protects you from those. I do need to take a hit from something so I don't get third mask form. Let's see here. Okay, 13. Alright. So there's another new thing in addition to these intermittent electric barriers that we'll get to when we reach the split of paths that is very soon. We're almost at it. Well, there's the bonus to deal with first. So it is possible to duplicate some boxes off of this bonus to... Okay, that should get me to 22. It did not. That is why it is important to watch my box count. So you can duplicate boxes off of this and skip the need to dip into the beginning of the death route here. But the only source of death is is a pit, and if you get shoes, the boxes will stop, will finish counting before you respawn, so there is RNG to getting it. But anyway, here's the other new thing in these levels. Bees.
Oh no.
So each beehive has a zone going up to some upcoming pit. And if you're in that zone, bees will come out of the hive and come after you. And then there's this oddly colored ground that if you spin on it, neutral side spinning doesn't count for some reason. Crash wheelbarrow under it. That does protect him from the bees. It's also really, really slow, so we'll just outrun the bees. And you can get enough of a footing on the edge of that pit to backtrack into the death route here. There's the gem. There's some bees in a zone that I entered the back of. And there's the rest of the boxes of the death route. That box count looks different from what I am used to. I hope I did not forget to break a box somewhere. But anyway, we make it out of here. Yeah, 93 is correct, I think. I'm gonna try and leave that alive because I need to death warp, and I love the death animation from these enemies.
An immediate grave. That was awesome.
And the reason I death warped there is that that is where the last secret warp room entrance is.
Nice.
So this unlocks the alternate entrance to Road to Ruin. We do not need to take that alternate entrance because we were able to backtrack into it to get the 32 boxes there for Road to Ruin's box gem. So we're instead going to enter and exit Totally Fly just to get a more favorable spawn back in the regular warp room. Because Totally Fly causes me to come out of the Hanging Out portal because that's where the portal to that secret entrance is.
Got you. Nice. Flying through these levels.
Yes. So here is Behaving, another B-type level, with the diggable grounds coming up right off the bat, because those are larger beehives from which more bees spawn that move a lot faster. But neutral side spinning will still outrun them. In most cases, anyway. So I made sure I started that that spin before I hit the ground so I wouldn't dig under there. Oh, there's a staircase made of nitros. They don't seem to be hopping. I wonder what's going on there. Actually, let's go check that nitro staircase out. Something's going on with that. So that goes to a secret path that has the purple gem on it. That is the last color gem we need, and for some reason it is very, very early in this side path. That's like less than a quarter of the way through it. And for some reason, well, there is a platform at the end that takes you back to a slightly earlier part of the main part of the level, but there is simply no reason to ever do the rest of that side path. So those are the sorts of things I meant when I was saying that we still don't see everything. Also, some of the mechanics of nitro hopping are weird, as you may have seen that one box in that last group do some mid-air launching. Nitro hopping is RNG. Sometimes weird things like that happen and interfere with what I'm trying to do there, but yeah, it's not that frequent for that to happen. Alright, let's see what we can do here. I gotta burrow under here. Hopefully one of the bees will hit the nitro switch, and it did. That is behaving.
Nice. That was quick. It felt very speedy.
It did.
We're speeding through these fourth world levels.
So that is 5 more levels done, so we have our next boss. This is going to be Engine.
Ooh.
And this is a fight where being on PAL really helps, because Engine moves a lot slower. So you can get a lot more hits in. So each of these hands take 10 fruit.
Ah.
4 and 8. 7 and 8. So I'm trying to, Oh, I think I was one short on the left hand. So for the hands and for the second phase, the shoulders, you generally want to try and kill both at the same time. Which does require carefully tracking how many hits you have given, because killing just one resets the animation and gives some extra health to the remaining one. Okay, we're at 1 and 4 on the shoulders. This is particularly painful with the shoulders. Okay, 3 and 4. The shoulders take 5 hits. Okay, and just gotta get double shoulders. At least we got that.
Let's go. Nice.
And then this takes 5 hits. It is possible to squeeze in all 5 with, like, on one attack cycle there with good enough mashing, but I'm just not at the point where I feel like going for that. But that is Engine. So we just have 5 levels left.
Just 5 levels. Flying through it.
And the first one we're going to do is a new type of level. This is Pack Attack. This is a jetpack level.
Ooh.
So in these, it is possible to skip the jetpack, but there are a lot of special considerations with getting all the boxes, and you need to be extremely careful not to hit certain enemies or the game will crash. So that's a bit more adventurous than I'm going to be in a marathon run, but there's a PAL-specific skip. So normally you need to hit those things twice to get them into that plasma field that will disintegrate them. But on PAL, if you deliver one hit and then just push forward, you go straight through without getting hit the second time, and the plasma field, which you're not actually supposed to get to, doesn't hurt you. Because you are never supposed to get to it. So that's, so that saves a couple seconds on each one of those. A bit odd, actually, how for the first 3 crashes, the fastest version of the game is actually different for all of them. Here in Crash 2, it's PAL, for Crash 3, it's NTSC-U, and for Crash 1, it's NTSC-J.
That was a very quick first level. I feel like we flied through it again.
Well, hopefully we can for the rest of these, because so this is another type of level we haven't seen before. Like, they went all out with the new types of levels in the final Warp Room, but this is Spaced Out, one of the piston levels, and this has a gem path that requires all 5 colored gems. So that is what we will be doing first. And we can 3D jump around the pistons. And each of the sort of sub-paths of this has a bit of a different theme to it. Here it's the shrink rays. And then in this yellow section it'll be the pistons and the moving platforms. By the way, the sides of these platforms are harmful. And if I slide off of it in just the wrong way, it is possible to get hit by it. Now, this red part is one of my favorites because it has these lab assistants with shields who make those wonderful screams again when you hit them into pits. And then the purple section of it isn't really anything but the end of it. But we also have a crystal and a box gem to get, so we'll death warp back from that gem. I got spin timered there. I tried to spin a bit too quickly, so I couldn't squeeze myself in and get ahead of that cycle. And we'll 3D jump around that. So we got this little section here that's pine glass. And I got a bunch of stuff to dodge. But you know what? Let's high jump onto that. We're now on top of the glass.
Whee! Oh, nice! That was awesome. When in doubt.
Usually I can thread that needle, but I just couldn't that time.
No.
I ended up right between the lava lamps and that enemy. Alright.
Nice.
There's the bonus of that.
Awesome.
So those, like that enemy of the type I just killed, like, they're of a type that has a harmful neck, so you want to, like, attacking them any way other than sliding on them will hurt you, but it turns out that sliding down on them from above for some reason counts too.
And another level done, look at that. Beautiful.
Yep, just 3 levels are left. The next level
Is that
we'll be
included
doing,
in the boss level, or is there a boss?
there is a final boss in addition
Sorry.
to those, but well, you'll see when we get to that why I don't really consider that a level. So here is Piston It Away, the well, what's intended to be the first piston level. This one, this one I've been a bit more worried about than the other one because this has a death route, and you have to backtrack to it. So there's just a lot more potential for things to go wrong in this level.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. Those first couple are permanently have their arms up because they're there to like, teach you that mechanic. Yeah, that crystal's a bit out of the way. It's all too easy to forget to actually get it. There's our death route platform, which we will backtrack to when the time comes. And now I just need to get forward here to... Oh, right, there's also this bonus, which has some outline boxes I'm going to need to backtrack to. I tried to make it back onto there. If I landed on it, then neutral slide, well, not, and glitch high jumped, I would have made it and saved a cycle, but oh well. Okay, there's the boxes we had to backtrack to. Alright, we still have 2 mass, so that is going to make it a lot safer to do the rest of what we have to do here. You can double hit that one with a neutral side spin, and then you get those wonderful screams again. That is the last box in the main part of the level, so time to go back and do the death route. Also, spinning will protect you from the shrink ray particles, so it's not quite as difficult to deal with backtracking past that group of 4 shrink ray pads than someone playing casually who isn't aware of that might think. Here we have another painted class. And another shield enemy we can glitch high jump off of. And then we don't have to worry about dodging all of those things because there aren't boxes. Oops. Well, good thing we have a mask. This is the level I was most worried about in this warp room, so good to know that
you
that
did
one
really
went pretty
amazingly
well.
on that. It was fabulous.
Thanks. So just 2 levels are left.
I've been thoroughly enjoying. 2 levels left. I take it from my tech standpoint that time's going to be at the end of the boss.
Yes, it will be when I deliver the final hit to the boss. I will give you plenty of warning before that happens.
Awesome.
So here we are in Night Fight. This is another one of those night levels with fireflies lighting the way. So the same thing applies with them being timed to just barely last long enough with continuous casual full speed movement. But there also is a death route and a split path here. it can work out better to... like, backtracking all the way to the gem is... Or you'll see the backtrack into the end of this in a little bit, but that's technically a bit faster, but I never been able to reliably do that, so I get the gem from the front.
Nice gem.
So there are 2 boxes in the death route at the end of it, but you actually can still backtrack into it. But for now, ooh. Okay, it is possible under some conditions for breaking that box above the nitro to be considered, well, to be treated as hitting and exploding the nitro, even though the nitro won't actually explode if that happens. I've sometimes had it happen multiple times in a row on a good run. Luckily, we didn't have it happen here. This probably is the most fruit that I end up getting of any bonus.
I was thinking we're getting a lot of apples here.
Alright, we are at the end of the split, so here's where we backtrack into the death route to get a pair of boxes. And that's intended because you can see that they didn't actually put a death route platform for the end there, but they just have the path open.
Nice.
But that is Night Fight.
Awesome.
So we have just one more level, and then the final boss.
It's gone so quickly. They know what you say, time flies when you're enjoying yourself.
Yes. The last level we're doing here is called Rocket. It is another jetpack level. Let's see what we have here. The boxes are... some of them are a bit farther flung here. That TNT, there we go.
That's a really difficult TNT to hit, isn't it, without spinning it?
Yeah.
Don't take the damage.
Now specific skips for the win.
Nice.
I did not think that would come out far enough to hit me since I was a bit stuck in the scenery there. Since I was stuck in the scenery, that's why I figured I would not complicate things and would try to just wait that out before trying to save myself.
Yeah.
I have this horrible feeling I might have missed a box. Actually, 25 seems right. One final PAL-specific skip for the road, and yeah, that was everything.
Oh, let's go. So it's boss time.
It is time for the final boss
That's
fight
exciting.
to beat Cortex. And this is another jetpack level. And it's probably the most anticlimactic boss fight in a Crash game. I chased... Oh. Okay, yep, 97% is what we want. He is the last 3%. Just wanted to... Figured I should verify that.
Just double checking. Yeah.
So I delivered 3 hits, and the third hit will be timed.
Nice, third hit
One.
is time. This is exciting.
2. Get ready, and time.
Nice, congratulations.
Thanks.
That was an absolutely fantastic run, Stump. I know that you had like some tech issues at the beginning, but you managed that absolutely fantastically. I think you're underestimate as well. I believe it's about 140.26 I can see on stream right now. Just catching up. So congratulations.
Thanks.
That was absolutely fabulous. How'd you feel?
Sorry, that run could have been so much better, especially at the beginning. Just if I had, if I hadn't had those tech issues come up, probably wouldn't have been so.
Yeah.
But
it happened,
so much,
and it was a fantastic run.
Oh, thanks so much for
really was.
having me through this run, and also thanks so much to Completithon for having me do some hosting a couple days ago. But
it was very exciting to hear you on host break. Where can people find you, Stump?
I am Stump230. It's Stump230 on. That's my Twitch and my Twitter and a couple other things. Gonna just like say just gonna there. I just put a
there you go. I got you. Awesome.
Smiley in the chat.
Thanks very much.
Thanks so much for having me, and good luck to all the rest of the runners.
It's been a pleasure to have you. Awesome. We're going to go to a quick intermission break, and I will be right back with you all to tell you what's coming up next and what we got on, so stick around. Thank you, Storm. Hello there, friends. Wasn't that a fantastic run to start off our day for a little bit of Crash? I love some Crash Bandicoot. Absolutely fantastic. Reminds me fondly of my childhood, and seeing Stump do that so fast was beautiful. Now, we've got a couple of things for you to mention while I'm here. And we also have our next run setting up and nearly ready. So let me get on with it quite quickly then, shall I? So I just wanted to remind you that we're here raising funds today for Somos Familia Vaya. Their website has a variety of programs for you to partake in. It includes like monthly meetings for multiple support groups, including women of colour over the age of 18, LGBTQ plus youth and allies aged 12 to 17, queer and trans men of colour over the age of 18, and they're all just some of their free services. So while we get set for the next run, please go check out their calendar at somosfamiliavaya.org/calendar. I can post that in chat for you if you or anyone you know is interested in those support groups. I know for sure if I was in the area of California, I'd be very interested. I think that would be spectacular. Now, just to mention on those bid wars and incentives that we have got open today. So we have got some very exciting Pokemon choice bid wars going on here. We have got a trainer name, a starter name, and a Starmie name, where if you donate and write your name in the donation comment, it will go towards that. And we have a lovely, very handy command in chat. I'm just going to put in for you. It's ! Name bid war. and you can see the names we've already had submitted. But I can also tell you about those. For trainer name, we've got Osborne George and Big the Cat. Big the Cat is winning. In fact, spoiler alert, Big the Cat is winning for everything. Trainer name, starter name, Starmie name. So if you don't want Big the Cat to be our name, make sure you get those donations in, and don't forget to put your name in the comment for me, please. Now, I haven't also mentioned this exclamation point schedule to see the schedule today. We're very, very nearly ready for our next run. That's going to be Dig Dug Arrangement coming shortly. And then after, we've got some Treasure Adventure Game, Pokemon Puzzle Challenge. You can see all the above on screen right now in our fantastic graphics. We've got a lot going on. And then we're ending this day with a bit of a Metroid block with Metroid Dread and Metroid Prime. So it's been awesome. We've got Crash, Dig Dug, Puzzles, Pokemon block, Metroid block. What more can we ask for? Absolutely fantastic.